Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Come down to a nice seated position. Get nice and comfortable. Settle in. Check in with yourself. See how your breath is doing. See how your body's doing. See how your mind's doing. Non-judgment, right? Non-judgment. So, like I always try and begin these classes, is focusing on your breath. And obviously throughout the movements, I also want you to think about the breath. So let's start with what is called a 3-point breath. So inhale through your nose, obviously, and it comes down to your chest and your ribs expand, and then obviously your belly. And then when you exhale, the opposite happens. So just do a couple on your own. So when you inhale, notice how the chest expands, how the belly, the ribs expand. There was a statistic I heard the other day that I thought was really interesting that really brings breath home is I think we can go without eating for 30 to 60 days. It was something like that. We can go without water for 7 days, but we can only go for 5 minutes without breath. So checking in with your breath is oh so important. So today's class is going to be a nice slow go. It's time to slow down a little bit, right? We got to do that every now and then. So let's start by coming down onto our backs, nice and slow. All right, coming all the way down. And then just resting down for just a moment. Just reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale them down. Again, connecting with that 3-part breath. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale them down. And then just leave them down for a moment. Now bring your right foot up to the sky, okay? And clasp your hands behind your leg. And just bend and straighten the leg. So this is a nice warm up. So bend and straighten the leg. And you don't want to like yank it all the way up to the ceiling, your sole of your foot to the ceiling. Just do some nice bend and straighten. And then after you've done it a couple of times, hold your foot towards the ceiling and gently press your leg into your hand. And just feel a little bit of a stretch there. And then point and flex your foot. Just getting the top of your foot, your ankle. And then rotate your ankle one way. And rotate it around the other. And then bring that foot back down. And then bring the left leg up into the sky. And you can clasp your hands behind your leg. And then again, you're bending and straightening the leg. Just starting to get that joint nice and warmed up. Very important to keep all the joints lubricated. And then when you get to the top after doing a couple of times, just hold that hamstring stretch just for a moment. And then if you want to, you can point and flex your foot. And then rotate your ankle around one way. And then rotate it around the other. And then bring that foot back down. And then take your right foot, cross it over your left knee. We're just going to do a nice quick hip stretch, okay? You can leave your left foot on the floor, or you can thread the needle for just a moment, just feeling a nice stretch in the hips. And then bring that foot back down, uncross your legs, And cross your other leg over. And then just gently do a nice hip stretch. Nothing deep. You never want to really do anything deep. And then come on back down. And just pause for a moment and notice how you feel. And then when you're ready, gently come around to tabletop. Whatever works for you. And so we're going to drop down. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Drop down into cow and then sit back into child's pose. And then come on down to cow. Come on back up, I should say, to cow. And then sit back into tabletop. You are going to be doing a little bit of a cat doing this. But I've been doing some work. Just keep going back and forth. Doing some research on osteoporosis and whatnot. And sometimes people, it's not good to do the cat. So this is a nice modification instead of doing a cat. So you're opening up your chest when you do a cow, and then you're just stretching your back when you come back into child's pose. All right, come on back up to tabletop. Okay, now bring your right leg way back. Bring the ball of your right foot to the floor, and then stretch out that calf. I always have to think of body parts every now and then. There's too many of them, right? And then lift the right leg up, and you can bring the left arm forward. Okay, and just pause for a moment, getting nice and getting ready here, and then come on back down. And then bring the left foot way back. Bring the left ball of the foot to the floor. Push the heel back. Feel the stretch. And then lift the left leg up. Bring the right arm forward. Just pause for a moment. Just starting to get a little warm here. Okay. Come on back down to tabletop. Okay, we're going to rotate our hip. Okay. So bring the right leg out, then bend the knee out to the side, like towards your elbow, and then bring it around. So just rotating that hip socket in different dimensions. Like I said earlier, it's so good to lubricate your joints and then bring it out into the opposite direction. This is also kind of a core work. If you notice, this isn't exactly the easiest thing to do. It's really good. And then come on, actually take that right foot out, cross it over your left calf, and then just open up that whole right hip again in the IT band. And then come on back around. Okay, other side. So bring the leg out, bend the knee, and just circle it around. Nice and slow. And noticing if one side is a little, creakier than the other. And then go in the opposite direction. And obviously, if one way kind of opens up things in the other, it's just nice to know. Okay, then take that left leg, cross it over your right calf, look over your right shoulder. Take an inhale and exhale. Okay. All right, we're going to come around to gate. So bring your right foot all the way out, okay? And then place it down like you would do in Warrior 2. So your foot's in a 45-degree angle. And then walk your hands and swing your hands out to the side of your mat. This would be the right side of your mat. And the left foot is back, okay? And so you're kind of getting nice and stable here, okay? And then slowly come on up and really ground that right foot in. Reach your arms up and then bring the right arm down. Or this might be your left, might be opposite. And then arch over, just feeling a nice stretch along the side. And then come on down to the left side. Okay, so it's really easy to collapse that right shoulder down. See if you can keep that shoulder up towards the sky. And if you want to, you can bring your arm up, or you can bring your arm to your hip, okay? And then lift the left leg up, and then bring it, the right leg up, and just bring it up and down. So we're working that outside of the leg, just moving it nice and slow, up and down. Inhale up, exhale down, and then when you come up again, hold it up. Maybe reach the arm up. Just finding a good balance here. Remember, you can always put something under your knee, okay? And then slowly come on down, okay? Walk your hands around. We're just going to switch sides. So your right knee is back. Your left foot comes out into a 45-degree angle. And then walk yourself up, okay? And then arch over towards that leg that's on the foot that's on the floor. And just feeling a good stretch again. And then slowly come down. You can bring your right hand down, keeping now that left shoulder is coming up towards the sky, okay? And you can start with keeping your hand on your hips if you want, and then lifting the leg up and down that left leg, nice and slow. And notice all the different muscles you're working here. Inhale up, down. And one more time, hold it up. It's definitely a bit of a balance. Maybe bring that arm up to the sky. Whatever works for you. And then come on back down. It's kind of like a half moon, a knee half moon. Okay, walk around the tabletop, and we're going to come into our first down dog. So curl your toes under. Lift your sit bones up. Okay, your knees are starting bent. Okay, and maybe bend one knee and then the other, just starting to get a little bit more movement in the legs. All right, downward dog, such a lovely pose. And then walk your feet behind your hands. Come into a forward fold. Okay. All right, and then inhale halfway up. So come to the top of your knees, or some of you may be doing the back of the knees, but just have that flat back, okay? Nice flat back. And then exhale down. Really good habit to stay in the flat back, okay? And then inhale up. And then exhale down. And then let's stand all the way up. Reach all the way up. Bend your knees a little bit when you come all the way up. Reaching the arms up to the sky. Breathe it through heart center. And pause. All right, mountain pose, right? So just to keep warming up, let's just do a light washing machine. Okay, just moving back and forth. Just getting a little bit of rotation in our body. And you can get your neck into it if your neck's okay too. It's like another thing. Necks are difficult. I don't really talk about them a lot because it's just, they're so intricate and I don't know enough. So please know that if you have something with your neck, be wary, okay? They're delicate. They're holding our 10-pound head up there. Okay. And then let's just roll our shoulders up, back, and down because we haven't really gotten our upper body up, back, and down. Inhale up, back, and down. And then go in the other direction, just rolling it around. And then real quickly, too, we're going to do our wrist. So bring your wrist out and rotate them around one way. Again, another joint that we tend to forget about that needs lubrication. And then rotate around the other way. Hopefully this is an anti-arthritic movement. And then go round into the center. And then round around the other way. And then here's one. So make light fists, not tight fists, and rev the engine of a motorcycle. So you're moving your wrist up and down, right? It's kind of a nice rev. All right. Come on up to the front of your mat. Feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Okay, let's step our right foot way back. Bring the right knee down. Just doing a nice quick stretch here. Make sure the left knee's over the ankle. Okay, reach your arms up. Okay, inhale, inhale. And if you want to, you can put a block on the left side of your body, or just keep your hand on your thigh and just arch over a little bit, just opening up the sides. You're arching over to the left, getting a little bit more of a stretch there. And then bring your hand back down to the mat, step back into tabletop. Okay, come into your plank, your knee plank, or some of you might be up on your full plank. Lower yourself all the way down. Hands are down by your sides, top of the feet to the floor. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down. And then come on back up to downward facing dog. All right. Taking a nice big inhale and exhale. Okay. You're going to bring that right foot between your hands. So some of you may drop down to tabletop and then lift that right foot around. So we're coming around to the other side, okay? That's a nice way of doing it if you don't want to just thump another way is lifting the foot up, stepping it through, come on down. It's kind of like you got like a pendulum swing there. That's working the core though. We all got to keep our cores nice and strong, okay, to be able to do it from down dog that way. Okay, stretching up, bringing the right hand to your thigh or bring it right hand to a block, arch over, get a nice stretch there. Okay, come on back up. Come on, down by your front foot. Step back into that plank, tabletop plank, okay? Lower yourself all the way down. Okay, come on back up again to the plank. Come on back down again. Okay, inhale up, getting our arms nice and strong. Exhale down. Some of you may come up and just be a little bit, and that's all right too, okay? Just do what works for you. And next time, I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Curl your toes under and breathe. Okay, index finger and thumb really rooted into the earth. Sit bones up in the air. Okay, walk your feet behind your hands. Come into a forward fold. Okay, inhale halfway up, flat back. As a matter of fact, stay in that flat back. Bring your hands to your waist, then bring your hands to your hips, right? That's where you're hinging from, right? So from here, this halfway up, bend your knees. We're coming into chair, okay? And then slowly kind of come up into a nice, what do you call this? Sort of halfway up, halfway down position. It's a degree, 10 degrees sort of position. You know, some of you might be higher up, okay? But the idea is you're not rounding your back. You're hinging from your hips. So bending your knees, getting nice and strong, and then rooting your feet, really feeling your feet in the earth. And if you want to, you can bring your arms up by your sides. Really, really feel that. And then stand all the way up. Bring your hands down into prayer. Okay, we're going to come into chair a couple of times. And the reason being is because we are building up to eagle, okay? So maybe bend your knees, hinge a little bit, okay? And then maybe reach your arm up. And then stand all the way up. I'm going to bring my arms back down. Okay, let's come into chair. And you can get your arms into it. So root the heels down. Come on all the way up. One more time, inhale. And hold it there. Really feeling how we want to keep our quadriceps nice and strong. And then stand all the way up. Bring your arms down by your sides. Feeling your feet nice and rooted in the earth, right? Maybe you lift your toes up. Come up on your heels. Okay. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, fly down. Okay, inhale halfway up. Remember, it's at the hip. Exhale down. Okay, let's bring our left foot back. Come into warrior two. So your 45-degree angle, just like we were in gate earlier. Bend the right knee. It's kind of over the front portion of your foot. Okay, bend as much as you want. Okay, hold it there. Really feeling your feet, the back foot and your front foot rooting into the earth, stretching your fingertips out. Okay, this is a strengthening pose. It's an isometric strengthening pose. Bring your left hand down, reverse, so arching around, feeling that good stretch again. And then come on back up to warrior two, and then bring your right elbow down to your right knee, left arm up to the sky. Remember, you're not using this elbow to root down. You want to use your core. Maybe bring the arm overhead. Slowly come on back up to warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Come on back to warrior two. And then windmill your hands down by your front foot. You can step back into plank or the tabletop plank, whatever works for you. Lower yourself all the way down, tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale up. So keeping basically almost your lower ribs onto the floor still. You're not coming way up. And then exhale all the way down. Come on back to downward facing dog. And breathe. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're going to bring that left foot between our hands. So if you need to come down to your knees into tabletop, that's all right. Or just step the left foot between your knees. Coming into warrior two on the other side. So arms come up. Maybe the heel and the arch line up. Maybe not. Just holding it here. So maybe you're feeling like pretend that you're squeezing your inner thighs together. Not pretend, do it. And then bring the right arm down, reverse the warrior, hold that beautiful stretch for a moment. Come on back up, left arm to left knee. You can arch over. Remember, you're using your core to stay up, right? And you're not collapsing the shoulder in, just like we did in gate. And then come on back up, warrior two, reverse the warrior. Okay. Come on back up to warrior two, put your hands on your hips, step the left foot next to the right, switch to the front of your mat. Okay, we're going to do a couple of balancing exercises. So let's just do, I call this one a little bit of the fly, okay? So you're just going to reach your arms up to shoulder height for now and bring it down. And then maybe get your right leg, this is my right leg, up and down. So inhale up and exhale down. And then let's do the left side. Inhale up and exhale down. So it's just a little marching balance, just kind of getting used to the idea of balancing. So maybe you'll start bringing your arms up to the sky. So inhale up exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. It doesn't matter how high up, okay? It doesn't matter how high up you bring your knees. You don't even have to bring them very high up, but it's just so nice to do this. All right, can you go backwards? Can you kick back and come down? And kick back and come down? Just getting a little bit of movement, and we're flying. And notice how one leg may be a little off kilter than another, okay? And then come on back down and pause. Take a nice big inhale in and exhale out. Okay, come up on your toes and then come back on your heels. And then up on your toes again and back on your heels. Okay, so let's come into eagle. So coming into that little bit of chair pose, and take your right leg or left, cross it over your left knee or whatever knee, and just start with the toe on the floor. You're bending that left knee as much as possible, the back leg, okay? And noticing how you have to get that left foot really rooted down, okay? All right, and then bring your arms up into cactus. You can totally stay here. You can totally hug your arms around. Or you bring the right arm forward, left arm on top, and wrap your forearms around. Or you just bring your forearms together. Whatever works for you, okay? So get your arm, and this will throw your center of gravity off again. So get centered. Maybe lift the elbows up a little bit. And then if it's in your practice today, stare at something on the floor, wrap that cross-legged foot around the back of the calf, the back leg calf. Yep. You might have to bend the knee a little bit more. Just breathe. And if you come out, just come back in again. And then slowly unwrap, bringing your leg out and down. And breathe in into mountain pose. Find your center. Okay, other side. So start by getting some buoyancy in your knees, okay? Bend that other knee, bring the other leg over, okay? And find your balance, because immediately just by doing that, a little wacky there, right? Okay, arms up into cactus. This time, left arm forward, right arm on top. Wrap your forearms or hug yourself, whatever works, okay? You can totally stay here. This is great. Or you can try and wrap the back of the foot around the calf. And then unwrap yourself. Come on back and pause. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Okay, come on up to the front of the mat. Okay. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, so bend your knees, so folding forward so you have that nice flat back. Inhale halfway up, get a little hamstring stretch there. Exhale down, and then come on down to child's pose. And if you need to get a drink, or you need any more adjustments of anything, please do so at any time during class. I can't see you. All right, come on down to your belly. Okay, so bring the hands down by your sides, top of the hands to the floor, okay? And then let's just start by lifting our collarbone up. And then exhaling down. And the next time, maybe lift the arms up with the collarbone. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more to do that again. So maybe collarbone and arms. Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, next time, maybe you want to bring your legs, your thighs off the ground. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now, if you feel any kind of strain in the lower back, don't do it, okay? Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, one more time. Let's do it. Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, and then when we come up again, we're going to hold it. So inhale up, but don't forget to breathe out at some point, okay? So keep holding it. Watch your neck. Maybe lift your legs up a little bit more. This is a strengthener and a stretcher, I believe. Inhale and exhale. And then stack your hands down. Rest one cheek down. Maybe you want to move your butt side to side. You can do windshield wiper if you want to loosen anything up. Okay, let's do it again. So bring the top of your hands down to the floor. Okay, and do whatever version works for you. So inhale up the collarbone, maybe the arms, maybe the legs, and hold yourself up there. Keep breathing. Okay, watch that you're not jetting your chin out or bringing the chin way in. It's kind of neutral, right? Neutral neck. Keep holding it. And then stack the opposite hand on top. Rest the opposite cheek down. Okay, maybe windshield wiper if you want. Okay, bend the right leg. Or actually, let's come up into Sphinx first. So bring your forearms down to the floor. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then really root your forearms down and then feel like you're pulling your elbows towards your ribs. And you might feel a little stretch in the abdominal area. We have a tendency of kind of arching around that particular area, don't we, when we're sitting? All right, so if you want to stay up in this position, that's cool. Bend your right leg, reach around, grab your ankle, press your ankle into your foot. I see you getting a good quadricep stretch. Quad, man, they need stretching so bad. You know, and the hip flexors, which are the connectors that from your upper body to your lower body, they get tight, but we got to keep them strong. All right, and then switch sides. So bend the other leg, reach around. And certainly if it's in your practice to do both, go for it. It's nice to do one at a time. Some people can't do both at the same time. So linger in it, you know. It's nice to also just kind of pay attention to one leg versus both. And obviously getting a nice chest opener. All right. And then come on back down and sit back into child's pose. Just sitting nice and gently back. Connecting in with your breath. And by the way, if you can't get your forehead to the floor, make fists and just kind of stack them, or you can use a block or whatever. And then walk your hands over to the right. Let's get a nice side stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. And then walk your hands over to the other side. Just loosening up, stretching out. All right, let's come up to a nice seated pose. Swing your legs out in front. Bring your fingertips behind. Okay, and you can arch up, just arch your chest up just like we were doing there. If you want, just feeling the nice elongation of the spine. Reach your arms up, and then again, remember the hinge at the hips, okay? So when you hinge at the hips, you may not come very far. And so wherever you land, bingo, that's where you're at. There's no right or wrong, okay? And just breathing in, breathing out. And you might feel a little stretch on the hamstrings. It's so easy to collapse down into this pose because you just want to, you know. But it's nice to have repetition with the good habits, right? And then come on back up. Okay, take the right foot over the left knee. Left arm hugs the knee. Right arm comes up and around, twisting around. And if your neck is okay, look over your right shoulder. Okay? And it's interesting with twist, we tend to, some of us tend to want to really yank around. It's not about the yanking, okay? It's just about wherever your body takes you and stops, and then letting it maybe go millimeters a little bit more as you breathe. Okay, come on back around. Bring that foot out. Okay, other leg crosses over. Right arm hugs the knees. And then bring the arm up and around. Twisting around. When I studied Ashtanga, it was all about trying to get the back arm all the way around to the straight leg thigh. And it's like, no, not anymore. Not anymore. It's okay. I just get a nice gentle twist. Come on back around. Bring the other foot forward. Okay, let's just do a chest opener really fast. So reach back. Some of you may want to lift your pelvis off the floor, coming into reverse tabletop. And exhale down. Okay, grab maybe the inside of your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together. You can butterfly a little bit. And again, if you want to fold forward, getting the inner thigh stretch. This is one I could stay in for a long time. And then come on back up. Okay. Soles of the feet to the earth. Very quickly, okay? If you want to come into boat with your hands behind you, that's fine. You can bring your hands behind your knees. You can let go. Whatever works for you, okay? Just keeping the abdominal going. This is also working those hip flexors. Some of you may be feeling it in the hip flexors. All right, and then come on back down. Hug your knees. And then slowly, slowly, slowly come all the way down. Nice and slow. All right. Down to the earth. All right, we're going to open up our hips again. Right leg over top of left knee, okay? You know, and here's something that sometimes maybe gently take your right hand and press the top of your right leg just to feel a little opening down there. And don't press it so hard. And then if you want to, you can bring the left leg up, thread the needle. And we'll just hold this here for a little while. And if your head comes off and you want to do this thread the needle, maybe put a pillow behind your head so that you can come into this pose. And just know that, you know, it could be the way that you're built just genetically is one of the reasons why you may not be able to do this pose completely. And that's okay, okay? Just as long as you feel a little stretch in the hips, and that means maybe keeping the left foot down. And then bring the left foot down, uncross your legs, pause. Okay, and notice how you feel. Okay, left leg over top of right knee. Maybe do that little gentle push to kind of stretch out the fascia there, maybe a little bit. I don't know, I just like that feeling. All right, bring the right knee in and relax. This is a stretch, okay? This is not a strength building pose. Because yoga is not all about stretching, as I think you all know. It's also about strength. And it's also about connecting to the body, which can also affect your emotions. So they do use that terminology, mind, body, and soul. I like to use mind, body, and brain. All right, and then come on back down. Okay, really quick bridge. So you can robot your arms, bring your shoulder blades down your back a little bit, maybe grab the sides of your mat, really root your feet, lift your pelvis up to the sky. Maybe some of you can clasp your hands underneath your sit bones, whatever works in your practice today. Soften your sit bones. And then slowly lower yourself all the way back down. Pause. All right, let's come into a nice happy baby. So bend your knees into your chest. Just kind of hug your knees and maybe just rock side to side. This is maybe where you might want to stay. And that's all right. This is the same concept of happy baby. Some of you may want to bend your knees. So it's kind of like you're doing a wide sit chair pose in a way, okay? So your knees are bent. Your knees are kind of going towards your armpits, okay? And maybe this is where you're at. Some of you may want to grab your ankles. Some of you may want to take your peace fingers and bring them on the inside of your big toe, okay? And just feel that nice opening. And you can rock side to side, just like a happy baby. All right, and then come on back up. Bring the soles to the feet, to the earth, okay? Heel toe your feet out almost as wide as the mat. Tee your arms out. Maybe windshield wiper side to side. Nice and slow. Just let anything loosen up that may have gotten a little tense. And then when you're ready, lengthen your legs out. Let your feet fall open. Your palms up to the sky. Close your eyes. And let everything just gently go into the earth. And go back to maybe thinking about that 3-part breath. So when you inhale, you feel it go into your chest and expand your ribs. And just do your natural breath, just whatever is natural. If that isn't working for you, because your mind starts going to a grocery list or whatever else you may be thinking of, see if you can maybe soften like the backs of your hands. Feel the hands just resting into the earth. And then the whole arms just resting in the earth. And your shoulders relaxing. And the whole rest of the back side of your body just gently softening, letting gravity do what it does, and letting you relax down into the earth. Carpet, wood floor, whatever. You can certainly stay here for as long as you like, or start moving your fingers and toes. Just bringing movement into your body. And when you're ready, just roll over to a side. Doesn't matter. Really, I always say the right side because you don't want to crush your heart. And then gingerly come on up to a seated position, just like we started. And connect with the breath. Remember how important it is. Bring your hands into prayer. And inhale compassion to yourself. And exhale compassion to the world. Thanks for coming. Namaste. So, by the way, I only heard from a couple people about Zoom. So what Deb has allowed me to say is that I'm going to offer private lessons via Zoom. And to contact me, you can either do it through Facebook Messenger, or I'm going to put an email underneath the comments of this video. So I'll be happy to help you out through Zoom one-on-one. So thank you, and hopefully you will join me on Zoom. Have a good day.